Here we go, number 70. And in case you've forgotten my name between now and then, and I know that this is not the HHH Hamilton, 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 it is the WWW, the World Wide Web. So you could be listening from anywhere. My name is Josh Willis, and this ministry is Josh Willis Ministries. And we are here in Hamilton, Ohio at the Depot. It's a ministry we still run. We do Friday night services with a lot of people off the street, addiction, broken, stuff like that. And we continue that from, we're getting ready to celebrate uh, our founding 1979 Easter Day. And so we're still here. But I wanted to give you this. This is number 70 in the videos on the blog News Beyond the News. And because it's number 70, I thought I'd tee that up and play off of it a little bit. In Psalm 90, verse 10, it says, "The days of our years are 60 and 10." Of course, the score is 20, and then 10, 60 and 10 is 70. "And if by reason of strength they be fourscore years," in other words, take good care of yourself, you get into your 80s. "Yet is there strength and labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away." In other words, eventually, no matter how long you live, you're going to get up out of here at some point in time. So 70 is this word. I'm not going to try to say it in Greek or whatever, but what it means is completeness, fullness, leadership. It can also represent a lifetime or period. When we say, when Jesus said in prophecy in Matthew 24, "Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is not. This generation shall not pass until all these things be fulfilled." So that's an 80-year period from like 1948. So there's fluctuation, calendar fluctuation. So we know that Jesus couldn't come until 1948. That's when Israel was founded. Anyway, in Jewish tradition, 70 years can represent a lifetime. It's a prophetic number. It's in the book of Daniel, the 70 weeks of Daniel. Come from Jeremiah 29, when 70 years were determined upon Israel's population to go into captivity in Babylon. Moses had 70 elders when he was in the wilderness. And when Jethro, his father-in-law, came to him, see, Moses would sit all day long and judge situations that was happening in the flight. You think you're 2 million people. And Jethro came to him and said, "You're going to kill yourself. So take the minute you have." He took the 70 and he prayed that God's Spirit would come upon them, and the Spirit was upon him, would be upon them. And they became the judges in the wilderness. It's maybe you not know this, but Jesus in Luke chapter 10 said he had other 70s, talking about the disciples. There was there was the 12, there was the three, Peter, James, and John, and then there was John. But then he had other 70, and he sent them out two by two in that. So 70 is a fullness, it's a completion. And the number 70 is associated with leadership, as seen in the Mishnah and so many other places. Tradition, 70 years of marriage is marked by a platinum wedding anniversary. I'm not saying this is that, but I am saying this is this in what we started. I started in April last year, and didn't know how long I was going to do this, and I still don't. But uh, here we are, 70 episodes from 10 to 12 minutes long. It's quite a bit of binging if you wanted to look at it. But what we've tried to stick to is a parallel between what's going on in the world, what's going on in America, what's going on in politics, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the culture, and what did Jesus say about it. And so that's a very Some people believe life's going to go on forever. I heard Art Laffer on uh, Marie, I can't think of her last name, the lady that does the money on Fox, and this morning, and he was talking about, he was literally, it wasn't tongue in cheek, he was saying how good America's economy is going to be, and it could, but it could take 100 years. We'll be here. He said, well, it could take 100 years. It's as though people have no idea. There is no clock. The only clock they have is the Gregorian calendar and the 24-hour clock. They don't, their minds does not go past what they're looking at. But Jesus said, in an hour that you think not, the Son of Man will appear. Well, what are the indicators? Well, there be wars and rumors of wars and pestilence and famines and earthquakes in divers places. And when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, they shall not escape. So this world is groaning, the whole earth is groaning. And if you look, you can see, I mean, 3 months ago, California was on fire, the worst fires in their history. Last couple of weeks, Miramar and Bangkok and Tonga, the islands of the sea, got struck by earthquakes. They're more frequent, they're more powerful. And Jesus didn't just call them earthquakes, he called them great earthquakes. It's anything over 8. And so, but the biggest thing is like our culture. Paul said men would be lovers of their own selves, heady, high-minded, proud, blasphemers, disobedience to parents, unthankful, unholy. And what I see in the streets and what I see joining into anything that makes enough noise, and just like, for instance, anti-Semitism, that we could be here this long, know what we do, know what happened in Germany, 6 million Jews killed, and see in this world that we're living in today that Columbia, Harvard, Duke, the UCLA, all these great colleges of the world, they're having to cut their money off to get them to shut up. What are they rooting for? They're rooting for Hamas. They're rooting for people that have promised to annihilate the Jews from the river to the sea. And not only that, but they're only the little Satan. We're the great Satan. And we got supposedly the best minds in this country trying to secure a place for Hamas and Palestine in the world at the expense of killing the seed of Abraham. No, this is a very dumb world we're living in. They're ignorant. See, the Bible said it, if people would have known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. People say, well, the devil can read your mind. No, the devil don't know nothing you don't tell him. If they had read Jesus' mind, then they would have known. Don't mess with this guy. Keep him alive. Don't let him spill 1 ounce of blood. They wouldn't have tried to kill him. They wouldn't have tried to throw him over a hill, stone him to death, nail him to a tree. Why? Because the cure was in that skin. And as long as it was in there, devils were safe. But without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sin. But he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquity, chastisement of our weapon was put upon him to get our peace. And so just little things like that, And I look at the president, the cabinet, what they're doing, and they're trying to build a utopia, the golden age. Are you crazy? In the last days, perilous time. In the last days, men will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. In the last days, they have a form of godliness. We are living in the last of the last days, eschatos. The last harbor is right here staring at us. You're ever going to come to Jesus, don't listen to those people. Don't do it. We do not have plenty of time. We got plenty of money. We got plenty of air, plenty of oil. We don't have to worry about all that stuff. But you ain't got plenty of time. You're not guaranteed, but you're promised that if you live right, 70, that's 70, and 20, four scores, if you do right, that's 80 years. Moses lived to 120. He had 340s, 40, 80. At 80, he led the Jews. At 120, he died. So I'm just saying, it's appointed the man wants to die. Then comes the judgment. But there's other things going on here besides your immediate death. I better tell you this before I leave. I'm going to take a couple, 3 weeks off at least. And a couple things I have to take care of. If we can get together, I'll make something, get it to Jerry. We'll put it up. But I'm telling you, we're in the cycle. We're living in the perfect days for the coming of the Lord. I pray to God that you make the right decision. Don't fool around listening to them people to tell you got plenty of time. See you next time.